What's up, everybody? Welcome to the No Scrubs Allowed podcast. Seal, how you doing, bud?
I am doing great. I just want to apologize if you hear any background noise. We have the baby junior in the next room over on his tap tap, and you'll probably hear her saying to turn it down. So,
Well, if you see any distractions, I am watching what we're going to talk about probably near the end of the game or game podcast or something. But I'm watching the U.S. Open Cup, the El Trafico, whatever number it is, which is in the U.S. Open Cup. So it's 0-0 right now. Chicharito just got a yellow card for being a little bitch, which
oh
is
shit,
awesome.
that is.
Yeah, that's on right now. It's almost halftime if you want to catch it somewhere. But I wanted to start out the
It's not gonna be
podcast. I wanted to start out the podcast with a huge shout out, Seal. It is our dream. Somebody is living our dream, bro. And it's nuts. And I don't know what other game it can happen in. But for F1, it can apparently happen because you do exactly the same. And I told you this shit was realistic. But shout out to Kim Bullock Bossy. I don't know. I probably didn't pronounce his name right, but I'm sure nobody is listening that knows this man. This guy is an F1 esports pro. He's a champion in the esports world. He's been on F1 platform for 3 years now. He's been a pro racer for 3 years. He is now officially a Formula 2 driver. He had his first race on Saturday or Sunday. So he is now officially a semi-pro, the minor leagues, professional driver from esports, dog. He's living the dream. Just imagine if somebody called us and said, you guys are so good at 2K, we want you to play basketball. See, it doesn't work for basketball because you're on a joystick. But this man has a steering wheel in his house for 3 years, gets the call. Now he's driving, getting paid, trying to make it to the F1.
So that'll be cool if he's able to do it now. The big difference, the obvious difference is we all know there's a restart button on the game. So I mean, yeah, he could be really good. He could know the ins
on
and
the
outs.
pro circuit. There's not, dog.
Yeah, but it's a video game is what I'm trying to get to at the end
Yeah.
of the day. Like, yeah, he could be great and all that stuff, but there's no real risk. His risk is losing a tournament, which it probably pisses him off.
Yeah.
But we'll see how he is when he's actually going 100 and whatever mile an hour. Then boys get up to
Well,
like
he
200.
raced, like I said, he raced this past weekend, and I want to say I did watch. That's how I heard of him, is because the announcer said so. I think he got like 14th or 15th. So he finished the race. He didn't wreck. He didn't die. He didn't come in last by like 12 minutes. So he's at least capable of doing it. I don't know how many years of training and any of that. Literally, all I heard was the announcer say it. So I looked him up. But huge shout out to him. That's been kind of our dream forever. We always say like we're gonna turn pro because of these video games.
Somebody just died right when I turned in.
Yeah, he's
Who's
still
dead?
currently dying. Yeah. Or did you watch the replay right when you tuned in?
No, I literally just saw him
dead on the
get rolled
ground.
over off of his face.
Yeah, they were like lifting up his arm, and he's like, "God, no." He's like, he's gonna get stretchered probably.
Is that Galaxy or LAFC?
That's so Chicharito got elbowed in the head, but he embellished like crazy. So he actually got the yellow card, but now this guy is, I think it's Palacios.
No,
he's struggling.
See, and this is why Travis talks about we shouldn't go ham for the U.S. Open, the in-season tournaments. This kid, look at Chicharito. He's still holding the. Fuck you, kid. You're not a kid anymore, but I still can't fucking stand you. But this is why you don't want to go all in. Like Palacios, he's somebody we've talked about for the last couple of years as one of our up and comers, one of our guys that we were really good at scouting for, and now we're probably not going to have him the rest of the season if he.
He's getting up, looking okay, maybe.
Oh yeah, I took a moment of lapse and judgment and not realizing we're talking about soccer. He'll be back in about 5-10 minutes, guys.
I mean, he definitely looked hurt, but still, your point stands. But yeah, so he's up though. It's not even Palacios, it's Chancho, however you say it. Arango. But no, it was Palacios. There he is. He's looking fine. I don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. But anyways.
It's soccer.
Yeah, we can't tell if he's okay or if he's
this.
having to go to the locker room. But anyway, shout out to him. Shout out to Bullock Bossy for living his dream, man, doing what he loves. And his ultimate dream was to be an F1 driver. He didn't know any other way to do it. So why not grab the sticks, grab the actual wheel, and practice? And now he's out there.
That's
doing
crazy
it,
that that's his story. Like he knew no other option. He didn't have any ends with it. He didn't have money to come up with to do it, but he could damn sure come up with a couple $1,000s to get the actual setup going. And yeah, that's my biggest thing though. If he raced this weekend, to finish that race would be a absolute plus, because we tried finishing races when we first started.
I got
You
it
have
now.
the wheel,
Yeah.
and we're trying to finish races, and we were totally messing up. And I'm on the sticks messing up. Whenever you first got the wheel, you were messing up.
Right.
And yeah, that's really cool that he was like, hey, it's 2022. You can do anything you put your mind to, especially when it comes down to virtual anything, any kind of electrics, not anything can get you wherever the hell you want to go. We see it with Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Logan Paul got to fight one of the greatest, I will never call him the greatest boxer, one of the greatest boxers of all time, the biggest cheapskate in boxing of all time, and started on fucking YouTube. His brother was on the Disney Channel. Like, the shit's crazy as hell how the world works nowadays. I'm sure all these old heads, the Andretti's, all these people probably are looking at this like, even, oh man, NASCAR people, that better not happen over here in our goddamn sport. No.
I was gonna buy NASCAR, by the way, and it's still like $60. I was like, come on, it should be like 20. I just want to use the wheel. And
that'll be dope. I mean, I imagine this guy had the full three huge monitors
I'm sure
set up to where he had it. Or
well,
what would that
I mean,
be,
the pro team probably bought it for him too. You know, I mean, he was literally a 3-time champ for the professional team. So, I mean,
blessings coming in, baby.
Nice. But still, I mean, he did it. I have all my assists on and I'm still wrecking. So I can't, I wrecked out of the last race that I just raced after I was talking about how good I was.
Hey, and shout out, we're always talking about me and you who love shooter games. We love sports games. Shout out F1 for, I guess, getting it right, being precise.
Yeah. Having such a realistic game that somebody can take it from the sticks to the actual tarmac. And that is amazing in and of itself, that the developers and the producers of this game were able to create something close enough that I don't know how many like practices he had to have. I'm sure a lot, but they got it close enough that he was able to make that jump. We need
to get crazy. Those guys on a virtual reality football game.
That virtual reality football game sucks right now. It's the same way it was back in the day, though, when you just pick run, pass, or whatever, and then you like pick your play, and then you just kind of.
I mean, yeah, I understand, and it's hard to figure out how far you flung it when you all that stuff, but it'll be cool. I mean, I imagine this is so weird. This sounds so Ready Player One, but I would not mind having a room that had a pad on it, like a wall with just a pad, where I could go in there and just launch that sensor ball and just have people run routes for me on virtual reality.
Dude, they should
chuck the ball.
They should, those VR rooms where you can do the zombie fighting and stuff. They should do a sports one. Like, have fucking real basketball court. We're not going to run out of bounds because there's an actual out of bounds in the game. Like, have one of those big warehouses turn into a football field. Have one of those big warehouses actually be.
Well, I mean, where we could play basketball with each other and we're running around playing basketball and shooting a real basketball into a real hoop.
You just want to go play for real then, fucker. I want to be playing against LeBron James, the actual LeBron James. You're against fucking 6'9". He's the actual guy. You got to break his ass down. You couldn't do that in real life.
Yeah, but so he's going to be in another warehouse somewhere else playing against
you? No, they still have AI that you go up against.
Oh, true.
We'd get destroyed if it was our real skills.
I wouldn't pay for that.
But you'd pay to shoot a zombie in the head?
No. But I would definitely pay if me and you for $100 got to go into a room and we just take turns putting on the mask. Or if there was sections and we literally just could go up and just take the
That's the same shit. They'll go put a trash can out in the field 50 yards away and throw at it.
It's not the same.
All right.
But no, the like the dynamics of it is way easier for football. I feel like
Yeah, for
if
sure.
when you like and for a quarterback, like how the hell like for a running back, like are you going to sit there and run around, and for a wide
Running
receiver to
back is
go?
always the hardest, even on controller. It's the hardest to figure out how to factor in.
So if you're just going to sit there and throw around a football, I would not mind doing that at all. Like you say, like one, it's really hard to get just somebody to go out there and
Like a
run
top
routes
golf
for
type
you.
shit.
Like me and you would go run routes for each other, but after about 15, 20 minutes, we were calling it a day. If I was able to just sit there and throw the football for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I would damn sure, like even now in my, I would damn sure do it. But to be able
I'm
to
sure
do
they
that as
have
somebody
something like
trying to
that,
train,
just
I
not
mean,
at our pay grade.
yeah, we see on the television with all them pregame shows and stuff, they have the technology,
Yeah.
but to have that in home would be sick.
I want one of those like at home top golf things where you just smack it into like the fucking sheet on the wall and then it tells you your speed, your swing speed and your aim and all that shit.
Yeah,
That'd be cool,
dope.
man. Anyway, so back to sports. Anyway, but that's super cool that he's able to do that, and it is super cool for F1 for having a game that close. So we're gonna move on a little bit, and let's go ahead and talk about LAFC and the Galaxy since it's about to be halftime. We talked about it
Blow the
last week.
whistle. Blow the whistle.
This first half, I assume, is going to be over in a few seconds, but it's been contentious. I know you just kind of tuned in about 10 minutes ago. It's been pretty contentious. It's been pretty heated, as you would expect, but it looks like we are the better team. I mean, we're at the tops of the bracket, or I mean, of the whole thing. This is not a regular season game, but it's weird because we're quote unquote taking it seriously, but Vela's also sitting on a bench. So like, I don't really fully understand what the coaches are doing because we sat people for the regular season and lost games, but now we're also sitting Carlos Vela for the actual game. So I'm not sure what they're focusing on, but it's 0-0 at halftime now, and it looks like I think we should win this game, but we'll see. We've seen late game heroics from the Galaxy before,
and we've also seen Vela come in the 45th minute and do work for a half, and I mean that's coming off of injuries and stuff like that. But if he's coming off a rest and been able to rest a little bit, to get
maybe
him
he
for
can
45
super
minutes
sub
here
it for a few minutes.
Yeah, would be. I mean, it kind of sucks that they had already used one on Blessing, but to have Blessing out there too is going to help them out in the second half to come out and hopefully. But hey, they're playing LAFC soccer and it's 0-0 at half, and you can't really ask for more.
Yeah,
you gotta come out here and get this dub. I don't know if this team can get a clutch win out of the Carson.
In
Galaxy.
Carson, we have not yet. So we'll see. We blew a lead and came away with a draw, and that was our quote unquote best game that we
can't draw on this though, right? It's got to go to
They'll go to PKs and everything.
PKs and all that shit.
Yeah, but our best thing in Carson so far, our best result has been a blown lead to a draw. So
in the MLS, is there just one extra time and then they go straight to PKs?
It's 2 extra times. It's the same as it is in Europe. Yeah. But I think in MLS it's golden goal. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe they don't ever do golden.
Real quick, I know we're not sponsored, bro, but you know me and how I love my light beers, my extra light beers nowadays. Not shouting the other one out, but this is Blue Moon's Light Sky, only 95 calories and 3.6 carbs of beer. Not bad. 4.0% alcohol instead of 5.3 like the normal light beer would be, like 5.2, 5.3, I believe. But dude, it tastes like a Blue Moon for the most part.
Been on my vinos lately, bro. I haven't had beer in a couple weeks now. So
I heard somebody ask this bartender we have, it's an older guy. He's like, hey, what kind of vino you got, my guy? He's like, vino. Starts looking at the liquor. I'm like, wine.
That's Florida, dog. That's Florida in a nutshell.
Hilarious.
But no, man, I wouldn't say killing that. That gives a bad connotation, but that's been my go-to.
Oh, I thought about it today. People were probably like, dang, Brandon's always drinking beer during every episode. He always has a beer. Well, I hate to ruin it for you guys. We could have an episode on a friggin' Sunday morning. I'm probably no, I'm kidding. I don't do that. Drink at nighttime. But any night, probably got a beer in my hand.
I've been pretty good about it since I'm trying to get back in shape so that I can play ball, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But
Didn't drink yesterday. My
yeah,
stomach was.
before tonight, because I had a game, I haven't drank since
Oh
like
yeah!
Wednesday or Thursday. So
Shout out to you getting in the league,
I
playing
got
the
in the
game.
league. I'm in there as a rando. It's me and 5 dudes that I met 10 minutes before the game.
There's only
They
6 of you. That's
Yeah,
brutal.
they had a game last week, so they know each other at least a little bit. I don't know if they knew each other beforehand, but it showed. We played a team that had clearly been together for a few years, and we used to do. I don't know if you were with us because you were younger than me, but we used to take a bunch of high school kids that played together, and we'd go up to SJRCC and just try to play in the gym with randos. And our high school team would beat those kids pretty much 9 times out of 10. Because if you just get 5 random dudes and you get 5 people that know each other and know how to play together, they're most of the time going to be better. And that's what I ran into last night. We just had 5 dudes that didn't know what was going on against 5 dudes that were running set plays, setting picks for each other, doing stuff the right way because they're friends and they knew how to read what they were going to do. So
Yeah,
it showed.
absolutely. Yeah, even me and my buddy AJ, I've talked about it all the time on this podcast. Me and him 2-on-2 on the basketball court, just playing random ass people, would go ham just because we would run a pick and roll every time. He would set a pick, but it didn't matter what they did. Like me being able to fit the ball wherever the hell I wanted to, and him being able to catch it wherever the hell I put it, it was just absolutely donkers. And whenever they would start trying to double team him, back in those days, I wasn't missing a mid-range shot. If I did, you could chop my arm off, and I still got both of them.
Yeah. So as the season progresses and going into next season, because we're gonna, I would hope, keep playing. I know this captain has played for a few seasons in a row, so I plan on sticking with him as long as it takes, and maybe we'll build a little rapport and get going. I have a friend of mine that wants to play also because he's playing in that hard ass league that I used to play in a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That they just ran us ragged. He's still playing in that league just because he wants to play. So I told him that this league's better for us, and so he's going to come watch some of my games and decide if he wants to join it. So we might have 7 people.
That's dope, bro. I wish I could be on the Oz team because y'all could be like, listen, this kid will give you about fucking 10 clean buckets a game, but we're gonna have to give him some rest. Like, give him 2 minutes of rest. Just give him 2 minutes of rest. Bring him back in. He'll play fucking 20. How much is it? 40 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you 30 minutes, but I'm gonna need a 2-minute break every 5 minutes.
No, I give you 5 minutes every 10 minutes, maybe. Right now, that's where I'm at. But I mean, I'm working on it. You got to start somewhere, right? But they asked me, they were like, "Hey, we all played last week. You want to start?" And I said, "No, sir." I said, set the bar. I want to watch y'all's defense because I didn't know what defense they were running. I didn't know shit. So I said, I want to just see what you guys do. And they run a 3-2, which if I would have went out there to start the game, I wouldn't have known that's what they were going to try to do. So I would have been fucked. But we were already down 24-4 or 24-6 or something when I did finally go out there 8 minutes into the game. So it's kind of a wrap already. But the second half, we barely lost. We only lost the second half by like 6 points. So like I said, once we started to gel a little bit and get going, we were fine. So we're gonna be all right by the end of the season. But it was fun. It was good to get back.
The only thing I'm worried about my team is everybody that, like, a lot of people are saying like we're the best team on paper, and people not on my team. Everybody on my team that has been in the league before. We have a couple of like 7, 8, 9 year vets on our team. Mm-hmm. So they're all saying, yeah, we're the best team on paper for sure. My buddy, who's played in the league a couple of years, he says we're the best team. Like I got it easy. I'm lucky. Like it's going to be Gucci for me. But the only thing I'm worried about, the way my team's talking about, is our size, how we're going to be able to get boards. That's the key. Nobody's talking about putting bucket or ball in bucket. And that's, so if it comes down like to me and one other or 2 other guys to put up 20 points a game, that's, you know me, bro. I get to my head. So hey, if there's other dudes out there that are able to go ham and I can just go out there free willy and get 15, 20 points a game, I'll be happy. But the way it's sounding, I'm gonna have to have to go in the bag and really put up some shots.
Yeah, my problem is they need me to be the ball handler, which Back in my day when I was actually good, I could handle the ball well enough to not turn it over. I wasn't a turnover prone player, but I wasn't going to break people's ankles and drive into the basket and stuff like that. We have two guys that dribble well, and that's it. So if I sub for one of the other three guys, it's straight. But if I sub in for one of those two guys, then they need me to be able to dribble, because otherwise then we're stuck with one guy. He gets double teamed, we're fucked. And that's what was happening last night. So I got to go out there and get my handles back to at least where they once were. But I'm gonna have to be more aggressive on the dribble, which I'm a stand back, dribble enough to keep it, pass it to somebody, and then be ready for a reset or something. I don't do the whole penetration stuff, so I'm gonna have to get better at that. So
Yeah, I've turned into not one. I won't say I'm as wet as Klay Thompson. He's an NBA player who's ridiculous, but I've turned into a Klay Thompson guy. Like if I ever go off on a game, you'll probably see that my dribbles aren't anywhere near my shots taken. That's what I've turned into. But during the combine, this one, because that's what I was doing, except a couple of fast breaks, I was running down the ball and stuff. Got a pass, got an assist, got a layup. Oh, excuse me, but the guy that was guarding me when I came down with the ball at one point, he's like, trap him. He ain't got no dribbles. So I had to split it off real quick and just break him down and pass it off. But yeah, I'm excited, bro. I'm ready to go. My only thing is stamina, and I know that. And I have a whole side road that can do those sprint drills you sent me, and haven't done it one time yet.
I'm going out tomorrow, dude. I'm ready, dude. I felt like shit because I know what I used to be. And again, nobody likes living in the past. Nobody likes reliving their glory days. Nobody brings out the state champs ring from 30 years back. But
like my varsity jacket.
But truly, 10 to 15 years ago, when I was still just graduating high school and playing intramurals in college and things like that, I was able to play. If I was at that stage and just kept playing for 10 years, I would be way better. And so it kind of pisses me off when I go out there and I suck because I know. So I'm putting in the work. I'm going to go back out tomorrow and I'm going to get those sprints in, and I'm going to at least get my stamina and my handles back, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I took a 4-year break off, and it definitely shows.
I took 8 years.
I'm surprised. Damn, I'm surprised by how easy my shot came back to me for being able to be consistent and get to my spot. And we talked about before, my legs, they're weak, but I'm still able to plant, get my base, and which at the end of it, in a couple of days afterwards, they're hurting, but I'm able to do it. Thank the good Lord. And it's going to take a lot of strength getting back in my legs and my knees and those sprints. And I think I'll be straight. I don't really think I'll have to go to work too much on getting to my spots and shooting off of those spots. But I am a little rusty. So that is the name on my jersey this year. Hopefully they get it right. I'm a little worried that they'll be like, fuck it, steal. But it's going to be a little rusty. And that shout out to Pops. I miss his ass so much. But yeah, I thought about it a couple weeks ago, and I told baby girl, she was like, "Oh, that's awesome. You should do it." I was like, "Yeah, I'm definitely doing that."
Yeah, that's dope. That's really cool. We don't have names. I mean, I guess I could get names. We buy our own fucking jerseys, so I could put whatever I want.
Yeah, and that was the cool thing. Actually, let me show y'all real quick. So we all know with the Mavs throughout history, they have some of the coolest and some of the blamest jerseys. So we all knew what we were going to do. It was either going to be the gold.
You got the one with the pony on it?
No, we're not. So we could have spent like $60 a piece and got actual graphics,
right?
Instead of names. Like we could have done the graphic instead of the name for like the Mavs, whatever the shit was. It was just be a full whatever that graphic was stamp. But it's just going to be team name. But we're doing the lime green with the royal blue, baby. So I'm excited. I think we're gonna look good, feel good, play good, and those neon green jerseys were really fucking cool.
Yeah, I'm in a ghetto league, so but that's what I wanted because I want to get back in shape. There are a lot of leagues like yours, at least in the whole jersey department and the skill level department and stuff. So
our league really isn't that big. It's not that like it's $100 a player, which is kind of expensive, I guess, for leagues.
I mean, that's what I pay.
Dude, our commissioner is the shit. It's not like you have a group of people that are running a league, but it has different leagues in it, and all these teams. No, it's one commissioner for one league. There's 7, 8 teams, depending on how many this year. There's 7 teams. But our commissioner, man, shout out to Mike. He's dope. I've only been around him for 2-3 weeks now, but he puts in the time, he puts in the work, he puts in the effort, and he also still plays and participates in the games.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, he's the shit already. Like, we have a site that you can go on and look up our stats and shit. Like, it's not just like an Instagram where somebody can go on and put a post of scores, and like we have that too. We have a Facebook. Like, it's so cool what this one guy does to keep this league functioning at an elite level, at a really sophisticated level. It's dope that it's just one dude.
Yeah,
so
that's really
I'm
cool.
really lucky.
And by the way, last thing I wanted to shout out, I don't have this guy's name, but there is a guy, I was there early and I was watching a game, and this man was probably like 55 years old. He was bald. He looked like it, just kind of the overweight construction worker that had seen enough shit, and he was just over it. And I was like, check this guy out. Check this guy out playing right now. That's amazing. Dude was a baller. He's probably about 6'4", 6'5", maybe, but huge. He looked honestly kind of almost like your dad, but he was bald. And so, but he just
maybe that motherfucker wrecked and just dipped to the West Coast.
Maybe he backed his big old badonkadonk that he had up in there until he got to the block. And bro, if he got to the block, done. It was a done 2 points every single time. I never saw, he probably went 9 for 9. They threw it to him, he'd just catch it, do a little badonkadonk push, and then bank off the corner of the box every single time, just like all of the old heads used to try to teach us. Kids these days don't play that way. My dad told me so many times, just bank it off the corner of the box right there. Every time it'll go in. Every time it'll go in. This man was just money. And you couldn't get, if you got him to that spot, or if he got to the spot, you couldn't get him off. So shout out to that guy. I'm kind of nervous to go against him, but I'm not the big man, so I don't have to worry about it. But he was nasty.
I found a new move. I mean, it's something I've done back in the day a couple times, just fucked around. But go down to the low block, right? And like you're kind of facing towards the free throw line, but like kind of angled. And you put the ball up, trying to find somebody to pass it to, and then you just whoop like that.
Oh, nice.
And dude, I did it on dude, came back down, gave it to me. I was like, yo, cut. Didn't even look at it, went in again. And it was like, bro, there's no way you can do that. Keep doing that. And I did it like 5, 6 more times before I missed. And I was like, let me just put that bitch right in the bag. All right, I was standing here. I was right here and I was twisted and just, all right, bet. In there.
Nice.
Done.
That's almost like that warm up when you stand and just bank it in, and then you go to the left side and you stand and you bank it in backwards.
Yeah, but that's just getting swatted 1,000 times.
All right. Well, yeah, that's just a warm up, is all I'm saying. But like, it's that same similar kind of concept. That's kind of fun.
Fuck the Red Sox.
That's kind of fun. All right, so let's get to the real players. This is not the Travis and Seal podcast show about our sports, but it will be in a few weeks when we're dominating our sports.
And there's nothing else to talk about but fucking baseball.
Yeah, but let's
finals that are going to suck.
Let's talk about the finals that are going to suck. So I don't think they're going to suck, but the league is getting closer to the finals. But 2 teams are now 1 win away, and let's start with the West, because if they blow their lead, it's going to be completely just a travesty. But Golden State, Dallas fought hard, got game 4. They're not going to get swept, but I still think it's going to be a gentleman's sweep. But what have you been seeing out of this series? We haven't really talked about any of the series much at all. So what did Golden State do to really bring Dallas back down to earth?
We've just seen that they're not that much if Luka's not able to lead in points, rebounds, assists, steals, all that. What was the other one? Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks.
Yeah.
Like he's like, they're not going to be able to do shit. Finney Smith, go Gators, isn't going to be able to do it. Bullock, however you want to say his name, isn't going to be able to do it. Maxi Cleaver, Brunson even isn't going to be able to do it. You're in the Western Conference Finals. You got to be able to have 6, 7 guys. They've been running out of fucking 9, 10 guy rotation. Yeah. We're seeing that out of the Heat right now, and we're seeing why, because they're just doing whatever they can at them to not lose. So yeah, this is what we expected. This is why you were probably extra pissed off, because you knew they had no fucking chance in the world against Golden State. And at the end of the day, no matter what struggles you guys had against Luca, there really was no chance Golden State had against you guys at the end of the
Yeah.
day. So the reason I think this is going to be boring, I really think Boston is going to get through this. And that defense they have, the length they have at every position over Golden State is going to be absolutely atrocious. If you are able to get into a series draft, Robert Williams should be your second pick. Take one of
Draymond's
the
not gonna
take.
get shit.
Hell no, take Looney over Draymond. But if you are able to get any of the perennial guys, the Tatums, the Browns, the Stephs, the Clays, the Wiggins, take them first. Then you take Robert Williams. That has to happen. He is about to go absolutely haymaker on these guys, and those role players are the truth. Devin White went off tonight whenever Smart had the slow start, and then Smart came out popping off in the third quarter, and they just went off in the third quarter with their defense, which turned into great offense. And Jaylen Brown going to his mid-range game to start it, and then hitting the threes, and then Tatum saying, "Oh yeah, I need to get back to the mid-range game too. I got a hurt shoulder." And then he's able to open it up in the mid-range. That team is going to confuse the fuck out of the Warriors. And the Warriors like fast-paced games. The Celtics like slow-paced games. That defense is going to be able to allow them to control the pace of that series. And it might go 5, 6, 7 games, but it's going to be more of what it is right now. Like the Celtics either are going to win by 20 or they're going to lose by 10.
You ready to talk about one of my best coaches left in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Comment from 2 series ago. My guy Ime Udoka is showing his stuff. Now listen, the Eastern Conference Finals has been marred by injuries, but it's not in the least bit unfair because it's big names. Jimmy Butler's injured. Playing injured, by the way, not injured now, but Jason Tatum's injured, Marcus Smart's injured, Robert Williams, who you mentioned, has this big ass contraption on his leg every day because he has like bad blood vessels and shit in his knee.
He just had surgery in March.
Well, yeah, he had the ACL or MCL or whatever surgery, but he apparently has like bad veins or bad something, and so they have to constantly run this stuff to like widen his veins so that he can pump enough blood through his knees or some shit.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. But so that whole side is just injury riddled. But like you said, defense travels, defense goes for road games, defense withstands injuries, defense withstands all that stuff. And if it's going to be the Celtics, which on the other side, as we're talking, the Celtics are up 3-2 and they're heading back home to Boston. Miami has won in Boston, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. But if Jimmy Butler's less than 100%, is there any way they can win 2 straight?
No, and not with the way they're. Spoelstra's got to get it together. He's got to get his ass out of his head when it comes to Kyle Lowry. What's his name? Gabe Vincent. He has given him lights out whenever he starts games.
And Strus too. I mean, Strus is a baller.
Well, Strus got injured as fucking in and they've been saying he has a phantom designation every game with his hamstring. No, he actually does have a hamstring injury, and it looks like he fucked it up before the half. He came back out in the third quarter, but he got banged up a little bit. But no, the biggest thing for them, they're coming out cold. The first game Kyle Lowry came back to start, they went 0 of 14 before Depot was able to put the ball in the basket. Like, they need to come out. They need to put Gabe Vincent back in the starting rotation. They need to come out lights out like they were able to do with him in, with Struss in. Put Oladipo back in there. They're calling him the 7th man on their roster. He was an all-star 3 years ago. Like, the dude could still put the ball in the basket. He's still very capable athletically, and he's damn sure better than Strus, damn sure better than Hero. And when it comes to that, I don't give a damn what you wanted to say to me. All these Heat fans riding Hero's dick, hating that he's out. That's why we lost tonight. Like, I don't care what you got to say about him. Oladipo is that dude still in my mind. You got to give him more minutes. You can't try to have him coming out there in the third quarter, at the end of the third quarter, making him the primary offensive handler. And then whenever he gets tired, start giving a Bam and finally let him produce something. There's no way they're going to be able to get it together because they don't have the mindset of changing it around when needed. They're just doing which is crazy as fuck. Spoelstra is one of the best coaches ever, and he'd rather have Lowry keep going, even though he hurt himself again tonight. He came back in hobbling after Vincent gave up 2 turnovers. No, let the young guy ride, bro. He's young. He's in the Eastern Conference Finals. You got to let him keep going. And then to finally, after they're down 22, to finally start going to Bam at the end of the third quarter after Oladipo was keeping it within 20 for the most part, a couple possessions. They got to learn a lot quicker. And this whole series has shown whoever comes out in the first quarter, first half throwing haymakers, it's usually over. Well, not tonight. First quarter haymakers were coming from Miami earlier. It got back even. Boston went up a little bit. And then that third quarter, it was just lights fucking out, game over, set match. And Spoelstra did nothing to change it.
Yeah. And so moving on to the finals, I know you talked about it already, but if there's a team, so nobody's been able to stop the Warriors except for, well, every team. We saw that the Grizzlies beat them by basically 50 points. We saw that the Mavericks in a closeout situation dominated them. What do you think the problem is with these Warriors that look so good and they look so great, and then they get somebody's backs against the wall and they get run out of the gym? They've now done it back-to-back rounds. If they do that against Boston and get run out of the gym, it's going to create problems because Boston's not these other crappy teams.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is their role players and the fact that Klay Thompson isn't Klay Thompson. Draymond isn't as effective as he used to be against these big guys. And they have Kevin Looney, who's able to go ham. The last time they won a championship, this dude was like a 10-minute a game player. And now he is able to get over Draymond in every aspect. And yeah, Draymond's able to come in and do some Draymond things. But at the end of the day, you have to rely on 2018 Draymond, 2015 Draymond, and you can't do that nowadays. That's not happening. And the fact that Kevin Looney has more impact on the game, that's not going to be enough to help you out. Even though Robert Williams is younger than Kevin Looney, he's still way more effective at the end of the day. And then you put Draymond up against Tatum, and then put Brown up against
Grant
Steph.
Williams. Draymond's going to cover Grant Williams, which is going to be just
I'm just saying, like, statistically,
Okay.
And then so like it's all going to come down to the role players. And yeah, Kuminga shined in game 4, but they didn't close it out.
But he shined because they were losing.
Yeah, so he's not enough.
Yeah,
they don't have enough like they did in 15 in that championship they won without Durant. It's not the same 8 people. They have Iguodala still, but it's not the same Iguodala who won MVP.
Right.
It's completely different team. And a lot of people are Steph's getting that championship. You can see he wants that championship. Steph and Steve Kerr are going to see that just because they stuck around with the same crew doesn't mean the rest of the Eastern Conference didn't change against them. And they're not playing the same LeBron James and company.
Yeah. So also a big shout out to 538. So we're not sponsored by them, obviously, but they're a website that puts stats or uses stats to do all kinds of shit. So at the All-Star break, maybe 10 games after the All-Star break, something like that, they predicted with their Raptor, whatever numbers that they use, that the Boston Celtics were going to win the championship. And pretty much everybody laughed at them. Every media outlet I ever heard, not laughed at 538, but laughed at the fact that Boston could be the best team in the NBA. Even my a huge podcaster that's a huge Boston fan, you guys could probably put 2 and 2 together, figure out who that is. But he even said, like, there's no way the Boston Celtics this year with a new coach and as bad as they were pre All-Star break, there's just no way. And so whatever it is that 538 does, whatever it is, their system that they use, they had Boston as the best team, the best chance to win. And right now it looks like they're definitely right up there. So
yeah, that's
crazy.
That's crazy that they were able to do that. And who knows what it is? Maybe it is the numbers that are given to us and they just put them in a different algorithm. Different algorithm. But than our brains are able to compute. But
Chicharito.
Yeah, this is stupid.
That's what we do against Carson, bro.
This is stupid. But anyways, yeah, that's crazy that they were able to predict this. And even at the beginning of the series, you had to think that Miami was going to win this in 5 probably. And for them to come out and continue the series pattern of just straight blowouts is incredible. And it was called by a team that put shit into a computer, probably.
A bunch of stat nerds that probably never even watched basketball before in their life. But hey, good on them, bro. So moving on to another sport. Again, I said we don't have much to talk about here, but I am wearing baseball garb. We lost tonight, which kind of sucks. So it's kind of unceremonious, but we didn't lose what I was going to talk about. So it made me very happy. We were the first team to hit 100 goal differential this year. So I see that. So we got 100 goals more than our opponent. And even though the Yankees have a better record than us, they're only at plus 68. So we're 40 games into the season, essentially, and we are outscoring teams by 100 points. We're the top run scoring team in the whole MLB by a long shot. And like, it just looks like we're starting to grind. We got our players, we got our pitchers, we're doing our thing. So what do you think of this baseball? I know you're probably ignoring baseball because the Red Sox.
I don't give a fuck about baseball. Where's the VAR in this?
That's 2 now offsides that they haven't called. I think both goals were offsides, but this TV's at an odd angle too, or the camera that they're showing is at the half court angle, so it's hard to half field angle.
Man, this shit's stupid, bro. I don't care about baseball. I don't give a fuck. The fact that the Yankees
Boston's come all the way back up there in second now.
Yeah, Trevor Story is acting right. We just lost to the Red Sox tonight. Whenever I went on those free pools things and said they'd have the most runs after scoring 25 in the last 2 games. Yeah, we laid an egg, lost 3-1 to the White Sox. But yeah, I still don't give a fuck about baseball. We need some consistency. We need to pay Rafi. Until that happens, I don't give a fuck about baseball. We're going to end up being that team that just lets all of our people go and we sign free agents. We don't want to keep the homegrown guys. We want the guys that need to get paid millions and millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars. Just because they've done good for other teams and now we're ready to pay them. We're not going to pay the guys who have done good for us and won us a fucking World Series when we shouldn't have won one.
You guys are 7-3 in your last 10. You're going to keep the grind. You're going to do your thing. You're going to be fighting for a wild card spot at the end just to get routed by the Yankees after you win the wild card game.
Yeah.
Which is not what Boston wants. They'd probably just rather miss the playoffs and go about it again.
Yeah,
but it was mostly to bring up the Dodgers because I was wearing their stuff. They passed the 100 run mark. We might have a run differential that's just off the charts, which we do every year, but might start battling the record run differentials, which I don't know what the record is, but it's pretty crazy. Also, everybody that I've ever picked in the freaking home run thing, which is not existent anymore, but all the people that I have once picked, I think are leading the league in home runs now. They're all just going off. It's unbelievable. It's really frustrating. So yeah, that's just
Trevor Story finally got his head out of his ass.
He is rolling right now, dude.
Yeah.
Mookie had 2 home runs the other day, so he's playing at an MVP level. Mike Trout's playing at an MVP level, which again is not surprising if you've ever listened to us or anybody else talk about baseball. The Angels actually are pretty surprising. And if anybody could knock off the Astros, that'd be amazing. So go Angels, go. We're trying to get out to a game. I don't have motivation other than just the fact that I want to watch a game, but it's the Angels. And so it's kind of whatever, but it's close. What else was I going to talk about? There was something else, not with baseball. Tennis. So just in case Eddie listens, and if any of you other Canadians or whatever, I was looking at the stats the other day and Canada's still popping strong. So shout out to Canada. Keep doing what you're doing. If you guys are tennis fans at all, the French Open's hot. It's going. Nadal, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Zverev, all those guys have won their second round now, so it's starting to heat up. It's starting to get going. Nadal, Alcaraz, and Djokovic. Now, I know you might not know who Alcaraz is, but
Nope.
just 2 weeks ago in a tournament on clay, Alcaraz upset Nadal first, then upset Djokovic the very next match, then upset Zverev to win the whole tournament. So back to back to back, beat 3 of the top 5 players in the world right now, and on clay, which is obviously Nadal's king spot. So he's already the 6th seed in this tournament just because of what he did a couple weeks ago. But obviously, those little tournaments, you play 2 out of 3. In the Grand Slams, the French Open, you play 3 out of 5. And if you're playing a Nadal in the French Open, you're going to get a very different Nadal than you would have gotten wherever the hell they were a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Same with Djokovic, same with Zverev. But they are all on the same half of the bracket. So
wow.
It's going to be one of those tournaments where you're going to want to watch the quarterfinals, or you're going to want to watch the semifinals, because whoever gets out of that part of the bracket is probably going to just coast to a straight set finals win and make it easy. But the most exciting games will be before the finals, which is always annoying. I don't know why they do that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that is annoying. It's not like the early 2000s anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it was always set up for some prime shit. Like yeah, that's stupid. It's been like the last like 5-6 years. You just always look forward to, like you said, the quarters and the semis, and then the finals usually is coast. But unless you're watching the lady sides, it's usually an upset after somebody goes on a like 3-4 win tear.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting weird with these tennis draws. But yeah, I don't care. That's cool that dude's going ham. But like you said, he has no chance in hell against a French Open Joker or Nadal. That's crazy that happened. And both of these guys are going to be going out with a vengeance now.
Yeah, exactly. They both come off. I think Djokovic lost on purpose because he saw Nadal lose and he was like, oh shit, I need motivation too. Let's go.
Yeah, that shit's crazy. But yeah, shout out to dude. That's awesome that he was able to go. I mean, definitely won a couple $100,000 off of that, probably.
For sure. And he got he's going to get a lot more money from this tournament now that people are probably playing him a little more anxious because of his name recognition. But
you got to think, getting a 6th seed draw, he's going to play some trash.
I did want to do an opposite shout out. I know this is no scrubs allowed. We don't normally talk about scrubs, but this is this is something that needs to be talked about, because the tennis world is clinging.
I thought we were talking about Angel.
No, is clinging to these guys, right? To the Djokovic and the Nadals, and eventually they're going to lose, and you're going to need something, right? Well, Wimbledon in all their glorious wisdom, right? Because they're the All England club, they're Wimbledon. We all know that they banned we all know that. You guys might not watch tennis, but they banned any Russian players or players from Belarus. I'm not sure why. Maybe they are fighting with Russia. I don't know. But any Russian or Belarusian player banned from playing at Wimbledon, which is just stupid. Like, these players are not doing shit in the military. They're not Putin. They're not doing their thing. But that's a political story, and we don't really get into that.
I like it, though.
You like that they banned them?
Yeah.
Why?
For the fact that it's not their fault. I agree with that. At the end of the day, they're still part of a country that seems to not think that there's any consequences. So, yeah, it stinks that it comes down to a tennis player when it has to do it. Even in that army, there's probably a lot of people who are forced to be in it and don't really have the same mindset as the people pushing the actual, I won't say pulling the trigger, that's bad, but pushing the buttons and calling the shots for this war and all that stuff. But we all don't like it. We all disagree with it. So there has to be repercussions in some aspects.
Not to them. They didn't do shit.
But it's not it's to Russia. It's to the Russian players.
They chose to be Russian then? No, they're just fucking born, dog.
Chose to be Russian. It's just a smack on the, like, it's just a smack on the wrist. But yeah,
it doesn't do shit to Putin. He doesn't give a fuck.
But it's a repercussion to the Russian nation.
No, it's not. It's a repercussion to a single person with a life. It's trying to make a livelihood, trying to feed kids, trying to survive. If somebody came through and said, yo, you can no longer work as a server because you're American, sorry, done. Peace out. You never work again. Like, what the
Go
fuck?
find another job.
Nope, you're in America. You're no longer working. You're done, son.
Well, if I can't go to Wimbledon and work, and I would just skip that one.
That's your fucking livelihood, bro.
That's
where you make your money. That's where you pay your
1 week
bills.
a year.
That's how you pay your fucking bills.
Dude. If he wasn't able to play tennis, I would see that. But
he is not able to play tennis. That's
at Wimbledon.
Yeah, that's his fucking cash cow.
He only
That's where he makes his money.
He only plays at Wimbledon.
You only make money at Wimbledon, mostly. That's fucking bullshit. Are you serious? So you're just saying because of your race, you can't fucking go play tennis now?
That's
fucking bullshit.
I'm saying I can appreciate them trying to show
dude.
some kind of repercussion against Russia.
You're giving a repercussion against him, a person. Even the Russian athletes were able to play in the Olympics. They don't get to have the Russian flag. They don't get to have any of the whole Russian national anthem or anything like that. But they get to go do their dreams, their goals, their livelihood, things they've worked their entire fucking life for.
I understand that. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that.
No, you're not. You literally just said you're not for it. You told them to go crawl back to fucking Russia because fuck Russia. You call me pigs. That's literally what you just fucking said. You called the tennis players communists and told them to go back to fucking Russia because that's where they're from and they need sanctions.
I let off with saying even though they don't have the same mindset, most of the army people who have to serve.
Then why do they get fucking punished for it?
It sucks because they're Russian. Like if Americans,
that's like saying, hey, sorry you guys were slaves, but I mean you were black. So
but I mean no.
Yeah, so you can't drink at the water fountain because you are black. I know you didn't choose it. You didn't do it.
If American people were having a war, and I didn't
called the Civil War.
Like having a war with another country, like we're having out of war with Canada. I wouldn't be mad if like Australia was like, yo, I don't want Americans over here during that shit. They can't compete in any of our shit.
That's not what they're saying. You can go to England. You can't play at Wimbledon. You can't do your livelihood. You can't do your job.
Well, that'll be appealed.
No, they've already chosen. Oh. That's bullshit. That's racist as fuck, in my opinion. Like that individual did not do shit.
I understand that he didn't do shit, but
if they come out and say like I'm all for this war, like Putin's doing awesome, then by all means ban them. But just because of their nationality, that's so stupid.
But that's them showing their dislike for what's going on.
You can do that without punishing an individual.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that.
A human being.
I'm not insensitive to the fact like it sucks for dude. Yes, that's his livelihood. Yes, that's even just showing up is $100,000 check. I understand that.
That's some bullshit, dude. That's Russian.
It is. It sucks.
Yeah, but you're on Wimbledon's side. You're like, keep all the Russians out forever. Fuck them. Not Russians, bro. Not Russians. Anybody but fucking Russians.
Stop putting shit in my mouth.
I ain't trying to deal with that shit.
I just said I can appreciate somebody trying to bring repercussions to the Russian people.
They're not bringing repercussions to the Russian people. They're bringing repercussions to a Russian person. That's where the difference lies.
Well, yeah, that's fucked up. That's singling people out. But are there more Russian people that are going to be in the tournament?
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's not at the Russian people. It's at a humanistic level. This single individual person, every individual Russian.
So there's other Russian national people that are going to be in this tournament.
No. Sorry, all of them are banned.
Okay,
but
so it's not his.
How does that hurt Putin? What does that fucking do to the war? How is that going to stop the fucking war? To tell this Russian he's not able to live.
But when like here in America, we see it all the time when like people don't like something, they go out, they hold rallies, and at the end of the day, it doesn't change shit, but hey, it made them fucking feel good inside.
They held rallies. They didn't go fuck up Russians' lives. If you go see if a Russian comes into your bar and says, "I'd love to buy dinner right now," you're gonna tell him to go get the fuck out, you communist? Like, what are you?
No, that's not me. That's not me.
You just said you agree with what they're doing then. So how are you gonna agree with what they're doing but then say that's not me? I would do something different.
I don't give a fuck. But that's Wimbledon. They care.
Well, they shouldn't. That's stupid and it's inhumane and I hate it. I can't stand it. It's racist. It's fucking ridiculous.
I
It's
agree.
it's literally like saying black people can't drink at this water fountain because they're black.
I don't agree with that.
Why
I don't
not?
agree with that.
Why is that different?
I would agree with Americans can't come over here and drink at our water fountains because y'all's leaders are doing some dumb shit right now and trying to take over innocent people's shit. And I'm sure y'all are innocent too, but sucks for you, your leaders stink. It's like whenever, like me growing up, my dean was not really nice to my dad, and my dad was not really nice to my dean in high school. And guess what? My dean loved signing my referrals, even though they were stupid as shit. And he loved calling my dad to let him know.
And that's okay to punish you because he doesn't like your dad. That's okay. That's what you're saying. No, not that it happens. It's fucking happening. I see that. You're saying it's okay. You're saying, yeah, cool. That's cool that he punished me, that he made my life worse when I did shit because of my dad. That's what you're saying. You're literally saying two different things.
I'm saying I'm just saying I see both sides.
I see both sides. I see both sides happening, and I see how it's just an asinine thing that should never happen, in my opinion. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
So you're all for closing borders too, then, huh?
No.
Why? Their president sucks. Leave them all out. What are you? You can't wishy-wash, bro. I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying I can see where Wimbledon's coming from, but it sucks.
Man, that don't make no sense to me. I think it's fucking stupid, and I think Wimbledon should second guess, and I hope they change their shit because it's.
Oh, I do too.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's not like Putin's going to try to fucking play tennis. Like, I don't know. It's frustrating.
Yeah, but we all know how Russia is. We heard it since, like, when we were growing up. They had movies about Russian spies and all this shit from the 70s. But
why
80s,
should that?
90s.
Why should that mean that would be like saying, oh, well, now Alex Ovechkin gets forced to never play in the NHL again because he's Russian. Sorry. He's been over here for 20 years, basically an American at this point, but no, fuck you. You were Russian. Get out of here.
I'm surprised we haven't with the bitch ass president we have.
It would, well, if we had an earlier president, we might have.
Hell no. He said you can stay. Yeah, Trump ain't scared of nobody. He'd be like, you can stay. Let the motherfuckers come over here. You guys do know we have the most firepower of any country, right?
Yeah, and I hope we never have to fucking use it. It's so ridiculous.
But we're not like, what if England's scared?
Well, clearly they're scared because they're walking distance, right? I mean, it's a long ass walk, but like you have to come across the water to get to us.
And they're a very, 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 very important country. And if
Russia
was able to get in there,
closing
I understand, but what
is
Wimbledon? You know, like what is Wimbledon? But we've seen like Russia's able to infiltrate with very, very, very popular people, able to get in, able to send back, and it's weird. Like it could. We all know it could very much happen with Russian intel and all that shit getting swapped in England and all that stuff being pushed over, trying to get people over there. It could happen. And maybe there's just people in that royal cabin that are like, yo, like, we don't want that here. And they talk to people at Wimbledon, and Wimbledon's taking the brunt of it. And if that's the case, it's not getting changed. And they're just really paranoid. Maybe they're not racist and they're just paranoid.
And it's bullshit. I understand that there's shit going on. I understand it's bad. But to take this approach, I think, is a two wrongs don't make a right type of thing. You can't make yourself less humane just because somebody else is being less humane. I don't think it's fair to anyone. You have to treat individuals like individuals. I don't care what their background, race, color, sexual orientation, gender, identity, what the fuck else. I don't care. Treat it as that human being right there, right now, and figure it out.
Like the way I see it is, if I lived in New York and just because I was white, I wasn't able to go to Chinatown anymore. Okay, I just won't go to Chinatown anymore. I'll go get my food, Chinese food, not in Chinatown.
Yeah, but they can't go get their job from somewhere else. They've been playing tennis since they were 4 years old, and this is how they make their money. This is what they do. Like if your boss came to you guys tomorrow and was like, hey guys, just so you know, we had a Russian apply and I kicked his ass to the curb. Wasn't that awesome? You'd be right by his side. You'd be like, that was fucking awesome. Good job. Like that's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like some Russian guys applied to play at Wimbledon this year, and we said, yeah, fuck you guys. Like your boss, your big boss is doing a war that shouldn't be done. So you guys aren't allowed to get a job either. Like that's essentially what's happening, and it's frustrating.
So what if it's like you guys are trying to get investor and they want to invest with you guys because they cannot stand your bosses?
Then they don't. That's fine.
That's you losing money because of your boss.
That's our company losing money.
So,
but the investor, it's the investor's money. We're not losing our money. We're not like losing that's a completely different.
I mean,
thing.
the Wimbledon is paying them, right? Like
somebody is. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Wimbledon puts up the purse, they get the sponsors, they get the deals, they have the venue.
So they can just choose to. You're just saying because they're a private establishment, they can choose to keep out whoever they want.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it with the Australian Open.
Yeah, and we said that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, no, I agree. But no, I agree. The whole, because he won't get vaccinated, and that's personal views. Like the whole Russian thing to me is absolutely asinine. It's stupid. And if there is any way I could reverse it, I would. And that's why I started out saying I can appreciate Wimbledon, somebody taking a stance and saying, I'm not here for it. I understand it's probably petty. I shouldn't do it, but I'm not going to allow them to make money here.
The difference is being Russian is not a choice. Being not vaccinated is a choice. Not putting your money into us is a choice. Not giving somebody a job, like I said to you, is a choice. But being Russian is not a choice. They didn't choose that.
I understand.
They might have never lived in Russia. They might have moved probably to England to practice tennis as a young kid and might have never stepped foot back in Russia. Who knows their story? Because they don't care. They just say, if you're from Russia, fuck you. Like that's frustrating to me.
Yeah. But then I don't know.
I understand.
That's all the technicals.
I understand the right that they have to do it. I just don't agree with it. And I hope they switch it because it's just some people like football players dream of winning the Super Bowl. Some tennis players just dream of winning Wimbledon. And who knows when you're ever going to have that chance again. And it's taken away from, in the main, and it's taken away from you just because you were born in the wrong place. Like that frustrates me.
Yeah, it sucks.
Absolutely. If there's anything in their past that says like Viva or whatever the Russian word is, Putin, like then by all means, I get it. But if there's nothing, if they can do a full scrub and it's the only thing is their ancestry.com pops them up as Russian, I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, it is dumb. It is stupid that shit like that still happens. But I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say naive to the fact that these guys are professional athletes that make really good money at this. And I'm not looking at them as guys who are probably going to make what, let's say on a good week, because they do a tournament a week, right? That's their thing. On a good week, I'll make $1,200. They're making 30, 50, 100 times that to show up. And I feel like that's for everybody. There's people who show up, and if you don't place a certain amount, then you get $30,000.
Right. Yeah.
For me, that's $30,000 that they're losing out on. And that could be the only tournament where they can get $30,000. And most of them are $1,200,
right?
Like $2,000 tournaments that they win throughout the year. And maybe I am naive to the fact that does happen in tennis, but in my head, dude, you're literally going to go to the next week and make another $150,000 in another tournament at another place that doesn't give a fuck. Like, who cares that they're taking a stance on your country, attacking people that way back in the day decided to free themselves from your
who cares ideas. Is because it's bigger than money at sometimes, dude. Like if my company was gonna do some shit that I saw that I deemed as humanely wrong and like inhumane, insensitive, I wouldn't give a fuck if they tried to give me a $3 million raise. I'd say, fuck you guys, I'm out. Like, some things are bigger than money, and I would just straight up be against it. And so that's why I think like I'm against not allowing someone to play just solely because of their nationality. again, I say it again, if they find anything in their past to link them to even pro-Russia stuff, that's fine, whatever. But the reason that they gave was just that no Russians, no Belarusians, Dunzo. Like, I don't think that's I don't think that's progressing the human race. I guess I'll put it that way.
Oh, it's not at all. It's
No.
not at all. It's repeating the same patterns of back in the day of bringing people down just of where they're from. But and at least in this instance, it's not as cruel as it's been back in the day, right? Like Wimbledon's not going to bring them there and torture them and trap them and all that shit. It's just saying you can't come make money here. They're taking in the eye of history, more of a civil stand against where you're coming from and just saying to stay away.
They should just out of fairness. Now, again, I don't know the numbers like you were talking about with the 30,000 or whatever, but whatever it is to lose in the first round, whatever purse that is, they should pay all of them that. And say you get a forfeit in the first round. Here's your $10,000 purse for losing in the first round.
Yeah,
that's at least something. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I
then they can give the best of both worlds. They're standing true to whatever they deem safety or whatever it is, but then they're still taking care of a player that had no fault in where he was born. But I don't know.
That'd be cool, and that'd be dope to see a Federer or Nadal or someone who's made a shit ton of money in this game to come out and pay them guys something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's at the end of it's a sticky situation, dude, and we don't always talk about politics, but it's something me and you I do not like it at all. And I feel like if my job was to travel the world and sell something, right? Like these guys are selling their skills, they're selling their tennis abilities for the most part. Like if they're good, they're able to make money. If I'm selling a product and it happens, you're not able to fly into this country. Americans can't fly into this country. Ask an Egyptian how many countries they can fly into. It's like a eighth of what we're able to fly into. It happens. So that's probably something that I see for this. Like if it happened to me, I would just have to find another resource to get it done. So I just don't see it as being a big deal.
I see it as a big deal. Like just because it happens doesn't make it right. Like it's fucking wrong. Yeah. Like the fact that Egyptians can't go places, that's fucking wrong. Like it's all just wrong. And so I guess that's why I'm not as callous to it. Like I understand where you're coming from, but I still can ultimately say that I don't agree with it, and I still can call them out as a scrub for that decision in my view. Because I just don't think, I think they're doing a too wrong situation, and I'm not a huge fan of it.
Like in my perfect world, humans would have the freedom that we have, no matter what. But we all know, even in the freest country in the world, we have the highest imprisonment rate because with freedom comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And sure. Yeah, so shit happens, dude. It's crazy. Hopefully this is temporary. And hey, thank goodness this is solely being from Russia. It's not in previous Russian sports news that we've seen in competitive competition where they're juiced as fuck.
Yeah, it's not
and cheating their asses off. Yeah. It's actually just solely from being from Russia. So that's some kind of good take on it. And hey, speaking of Russia, hopefully we'll be able to get Brittany Griner out soon. Apparently we're going to give them the what was he called? Like the giver of death, pretty much. Like he's a masked gun salesman. And we're just going to swap him out. They've been trying to get him back for a couple years. And apparently Brittany Griner is the one to get it done. I mean, I'm laughing. But
it's so crazy, man.
She's a sports entity, and there's been like people like willing to pay the government to get this swap done, like rich people whose kids have done stupid shit, and they've had to sit there and just sit in a Russian jail for 2 or 3 years and do their sentence, and they wouldn't get swapped for this guy. And like who and it 2-3 hashish cartridges a guy who's literally going to go back to a country and start selling mass weapons and killing a shit ton of people in the middle of a fucking war. Like, I'm happy we're getting her back. She hasn't done a couple of Ashish cartridges, hasn't done anything wrong. But the fact that we're helping a country in the middle of a war,
we better get fucking all of the
fucking
people back.
laughable.
Because, like, as much as I want Brittany Griner back, she's not the only one there. And if we trade this person for a 1-for-1 exchange, that's going to be some
It's
bullshit.
laughable.
Yeah,
it's absolutely laughable.
We can't just, and again, I want Brittany Griner back. I hope we get her back, but we can't just go try to get the people that make headlines back. We got to fucking try to get everybody back. And I know they are, but like, don't let them pull the strings, man. We got to like make it a better trade, and hopefully they do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's crazy. I mean, I would absolutely love the trade, get her back in safety, and let her figure out her life. Because now, like we've talked about, all of these women, no matter how much money they make in the WNBA, is not enough for them.
Well, hopefully that's eye-opening too, though, for the WNBA, for all women's sports. I mean, we saw that the World Cup teams signed a contract to make the same amount of money as the men, which is huge. But hopefully all the rest of these, we even said years ago that it would be easy for the U.S. women's national team because they're actually better than the men. They're more powerful than the men. They get more viewers than the men. So it was easy there. But we need to reach out and not do the easy things. We need to continue to make it to where they don't have to fucking travel overseas in the off season when they're professional athletes. Like, it's so nuts.
Yeah. And as for the government, instead of belling out all of these banks all the time, these multi-billion-dollar corporations, why not shovel a couple $1 million into the WNBA and call it I don't know. I don't want to get kicked in the nuts right now. No, but like some equal pay bill to where these big time corporations that are getting ragged, and really the WNBA doesn't have the ability to pay because they're not getting the revenue that they are.
Yeah,
and they're also not getting the help. They're not getting, it's the same courts, it's the same availability to put the sponsorship on the same courts, but the viewership is like cut in to like 10%.
Right.
Viewership. So it's the same way with the pay. The pay's cut to like 10%. But at the end of the day, she has to do something during the winter. It's crazy. She's been there now. Their season just started and she's not back. And so she's missing out on even more money. So when she gets out, she's going to have to figure out where she's going to go next. Obviously, Russia was the highest paying for her to be there the last couple of years, or the last, 7 years, I think is what it said. So now she's going to have to figure everything else out. So yeah, I'm excited to get her back. But at the end of the day, for who it is, again, I don't want to get kicked in the nuts, but I mean,
every person's life is valuable, you know, like if that's what you can do to get one life back, then get the life back. I get that.
But if that's going to kill hundreds of thousands of lives,
it's tough. That's what do they call it? The one with the railroad where you can either kill like one...
trade me for her. Like,
Russians don't want you, dog.
No shit, but like,
actually, they might want you after your Wimbledon stance. I'm like, get over here, see what we got you, dog.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, dude. That's a odd trade.
Yeah,
that's a really odd trade.
But this is what happens when we have less sports to talk about. But at least it was around sports. We talked like sport-centric politics. But yeah, so sports is kind of dead right now, and especially after this.
So the U.S. Open run.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just the usual. It comes down to the Galaxy, as always, in Carson. They'll continue to try to talk shit to us, but we finished above them in the standings every year since we've shown up. So I don't care. They can go fuck themselves and try to win their stupid U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, we were definitely blessed last summer that the Red Sox were up in Adam, and we were able to talk baseball a lot. I'm going to try to stay in control of the headlines, at least for baseball. Neither of us care about hockey. Tampa seems to probably
be just rolling. But my boy Connor McDavid's still doing his thing, still trying.
I don't know. It's going to be Tampa and Colorado, I think, at the end of the day. It seems like. But
hey, McDavid is that dude. It would be like Luka beating the Suns if he ends up winning. So hey, give it a go. you know.
But Matthews, no, it's not
Yeah,
Matthews. Matthews is on Toronto.
Matthews was on Tampa Bay. He got traded to
Yeah,
Toronto,
he's
but
on
they have
Toronto.
Kucherov, they have Stamkos, they have Vasilevsky, the goalie.
That's right, I forgot.
They have just fucking everybody. So
And Tampa Bay knocked out fucking Matthews in Toronto in the first round.
yeah.
So yeah, they're on a
But
Tampa.
Nathan McKinnon in Colorado is still alive. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl in Edmonton. See, I might not watch hockey, but I do know the players because I have an avid texting best friend that lets me know all about.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't
so-
think I texted. I didn't look at. Eddie sent me like a video or something in the middle of me trying to give the baby a nap earlier.
It was probably the goal. He sent me a goal earlier. It was nice though. It was McKinnon's goal. But,
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but damn it. But yeah, I love Eddie's texts. They're the best.
Me too. They keep me updated for sure. But I wake up to
My favorite ones are the View Man.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
might be one
that's-
of those videos then.
It probably is. It probably is.
He's hilarious, man.
I love it. But yeah, I'm excited for our basketball leagues. I'm so happy that you were finally able to get into one. You've been trying and trying and trying forever. And
Couple seasons now, yeah.
I literally stumbled upon a really good league, it seems like. My buddy just told me like 2 days after he registered. I was like, yo, what are you doing in a couple, like, what are you doing those? Are you going to any Heat games? He's like, I don't know. I got to see about my basketball league when we're starting. I was like, what's up with that, bro? Sent me a link, signed up. It's a good league. Apparently I got, oh shit. Oh, trying to fight. Apparently I got linked up with the best team we already talked about. Got really lucky. So I'm looking forward to a really good season. And we both seem pretty happy with where we're at. If I ended up on your team, I'd probably be a little pissed off and go out there demanding fucking 50 shots a game.
They
and
give
have
it to you,
everybody
bro.
pissed
They're
off
chill
that
as
much.
fuck. Nah, they're chill as fuck. They don't care.
But then maybe I would want to be a part of that. But no, I'm excited to see what I'm able to do in a competitive league where at the end of the day they want to win. They're not trying to chill after the game. So yeah, and that's going to be said again next week because I hope I'm going to be so pissed if we have week 1 off for any reason at all.
So when does your schedule come out? Do you even know?
No, I'm going to be that annoying motherfucker
Yeah.
that text them soon.
Yeah, this season for me is about getting back in shape. Next season is about proving to the league that I'm actually not as shitty as they think I am through this season. And then I'll probably move up to a competitive league and try to figure it out. So maybe in a year. But
Trying to be a goon.
fuck the Goon Squad.
All right, get us out of here.
Yeah. So again, I mean, we had a lot of shout outs. We had a lot of cool stuff, but shout out to me, shout out to Seal, shout out to Cam, the F2 driver. And shout out to all the players that continue to do their drive. Don't let shit get to you, man. Don't let crazy rules at Wimbledon or crazy shit get to you. Always go out there and try to live your dream. It doesn't matter what obstacles stand in your way. You're already made it this far. Why not just keep pressing? And as always, be a stud, not a scrub.